Hello and welcome to another deck flip through. So today we're talking about the fifth deck from Devour For Power. The fifth deck from the Commander 2011 product called Devour For Power. And the reason why I'm distracted is this. I'm so happy when I see this deck. It makes me super happy. So this takes me back to a time when I was playing a lot of one-on-one Magic with a number of different family members, and the nice thing there was the matches were always incredibly not salty, so I don't have any table flippers in the family. And what was cool particularly about this deck, so I remember sitting down one afternoon, me I think and a nephew who was big into Magic the Gathering at the time, we had this deck and one or the other from there. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was the Counterpunch deck. But anyway, certainly this deck. And what we did is we played a game and then we swapped decks. So each of us got a chance to play this deck. And it was one of those, I don't know if anybody plays one-on-one like this sometimes, where you'll have a certain board state and you'll notice your opponent's got a board state that looks really interesting, that looks like something interesting is going to go off. And you might go, okay, I'm not going to actually attack here or block or whatever. I just want to see in a perfect world what's going to happen, like how this combo's off. Even to the point of actually helping them out and saying, well, did you realise there's an interesting synergy with the cards there? And I just remember with this particular deck and its interaction with the graveyard, all the possibilities that opened up. And so it just makes me smile a lot when I just think about some of those matches we played that afternoon. And the stuff that went down. So let's take a look at the artwork here, because that's why we're here. But I thought I'd just talk about that. So first of all, you probably realise you're going to get the Commander and then the two alternates, including the Legendary Dragon. At this point in Magic, with this particular line of decks, if you remember, you're getting the oversized foil cards as well. As I've mentioned, filming wise, I don't have flip throughs or deck unboxings for, well, one of these decks I do. At the time I wasn't necessarily opening everything on camera. So I'll include links to a deck flip through I did as part of one of my nostalgia videos, where you actually get to see all of the decks and all of the cards, the whole card, not just the artwork. So you can see here we're moving through the artwork on the rares. And people here that watch the channel that are familiar with older cards may notice old artwork in new frames. There was one of the other legendaries in here. Oops. Oh, there we got that. Sorry if I keep bashing the camera here. This is the third of 3 videos I've been shooting today, and I've done pretty well so far, but I find whenever I do these, there's always a chance I'll bash something. There's Living Death. It'd actually be interesting to know anybody that has these decks or has a lot of the PreCons, whether as a simple first step they just opt to update the artwork in times of otherwise just getting alters or just buying a different version of the artwork. I know I've mentioned that before with reference to the lands, maybe swapping out the land artwork, but also cards. I'd be curious if anybody just has a more favourite version of the artwork that they like to pop in. Before they start actually to swap out cards for, stronger cards. Yeah, these incarnations are really interesting, and you can see they've got a couple here. Good old acidic slime. I'm always interested in green cards that's what I call smash. And acidic slime is one of them. Does artifacts, enchantments, and lands, or lands. So we're on to our uncommons. Yeah, Spell Crumple was in here. It's interesting artwork. And Fact or Fiction. Buried Alive. Siphon Flesh. Oh yeah, lots of classic graveyard shenanigan black cards here. Always brings a smile to my face. And no doubt you'll be familiar with the vows. So you get the relevant on-colour vows for a particular deck. All three of them. I don't know if I mentioned, but this was the green, blue, black combination. It was this particular wedge. So now we move into our commons. We're in green, so you've got things like Cultivate. Siphon Mind. And Signet wise, what have we got here? So Golgari, Simic, and Dimir. Oh, there we go, in green. No surprise to see that here. Oh, and a Gravedigger. And some of our uncommon mana base there. And we got some common here. So these are our non-basic lands. we have the cyclers. Three of those, and then the original Ravnica bounce lands from that block, because if you remember they were spread out. And we've got the lands that have a life gain but come into play tapped, and there's one of those there. And then a few utility lands here, I think. Oh, and good old Terramorphic Expanse. Command Tower. Rupture Spire. Yeah, there's a few of the common non-basics here that you do tend to see crop up a lot in Commander decks over the years. And then we move on to our basic lands. So I've tried to group these with the similar artwork. So again, you're getting, 2 to 3 copies of the same artwork, really just dependent on how many of a particular colour are in the mana base. Move on to blue. Very nice. Okay. You can definitely see a few of these are in fact also from related to the Ravnica block in terms of the artwork. This is swamp artwork I particularly like, actually. I think this is one that's cropped up in quite a few core sets, thinking about it. That reminds me of Zendikar block artwork. Oh yeah, there we go. That sort of cityscape type artwork. And cut to the cheese board. So thanks once again for watching. Hopefully this video has made you as relaxed as it has me currently. Bye for now, and I will catch you in the next video.